You clicked this video because you're starting your streaming journey and you want to get your first 50 followers on Twitch or YouTube. And I'm glad you did, because there are a lot of mistakes you can make early on that journey that will hold you back from growing and even set you up to feel really defeated and potentially quit streaming, or generally make streaming feel kinda sucky. And yes, sucky is the scientific term for that. Now, before we break down all the ways you can get more followers, including how I got my first 50 followers in my very first week, and I'll also give you an incredibly important tip for growth at the end of the video to boost retention. Wink. First, we need to talk about why followers kinda don't matter, but they do, but they don't. But they do. Essentially, followers do not equal viewers. This is a massive misconception. If they did, every time I went live, I would have 33,000 viewers. Spoiler, I don't have 33,000 viewers. Would be good, but I don't. You see, following a streamer is free, and most people will follow because they had fun once, maybe their message got read out, or just generally so the streamer says their name.
Say my name.
Thanks for the follow, Bootyman69.
You're goddamn right.
So if followers don't equal viewers, then what are followers good for? Well, they show intent, and that intent is really valuable to you as a creator. In fact, it is the most valuable thing in the world. Let's say you stream a few different games. In one game, you get 10 followers. In another game, you get 15 followers. And in the final game, you get 500 followers. Which game do you think you'll have the most viewers come back for if you go live again? That's right, unless you are follow botted and those are in fact real followers who enjoyed your stream enough to follow, it'll likely be the third game where you got 500 followers. I think that helps you understand while followers don't equal viewers, they do equal viewer intent. And you can continue to stream with that intent in mind in order to maximize your growth, always targeting what people liked or wanted more of. Now that we understand intent, we can talk about how I grew my first 50 followers with something really unique. And don't worry, it actually wasn't with YouTube videos like everyone else tells you to do. I did something else. But first, let me tell you about our sponsor, Own.tv. Specifically the Owned Pro plugin for OBS that has over 600 plus overlays and alerts built in that can be installed to OBS in just a few clicks. If you don't want to buy a full animated overlay pack only to find yourself wanting to change within a few months, well, Owned lets you swap back and forth, again, in just a few clicks. Plus, they've just partnered with Epidemic Sound, so anyone with an Owned Pro subscription gets access to all of their premium music for streaming. That's what I use in this video and in all of the videos on this channel. And you can use the link in the description right now to try it for free and get access to a wild amount of tools and features. Then if you like it, you can upgrade at any time. So why not go click that and check out what they've got for zero cost. Okay, how did I grow my first 50 followers? Now, I knew streaming would be brutal to gain traction from 0 viewers. I had seen that the largest hurdle for a new creator is actually getting over that first hurdle, aka reaching 5 to 10 viewers. But if you can get over that hurdle, you can get a bit of momentum, and then if you're smart, snowball that momentum. But reaching that purely from Twitch is practically impossible. If you're below 5 viewers on Twitch, you'll likely never be found on Twitch. So first, I chose a game that I loved, and I knew had a very committed, passionate community who were always eager for more content. But I also made sure the game was underrated on Twitch. The game that matched all that criteria was XCOM 2: War of the Chosen. Now, XCOM 2 has an amazing feature for every streamer involved. It lets you create hundreds of soldiers and customize them as much as you want, but most importantly, you can name those soldiers after your chatters. Before I even went live, I made a massive roleplay post on the XCOM 2 subreddit, pretending to be a drill sergeant in need of volunteers to fight the alien menace. I was expecting maybe 5 or 6 signups, but I actually had hundreds of people commenting to join my playthrough. Sadly, these posts are now deleted. There were too many people going and ripping the exact word for word posts and then reusing them. So if you wanted examples, blame the people who don't come up with a new idea and just steal, okay? That's all. So was that all I did? Did I make this post, get hundreds of comments, and then just start advertising my stream to them? No, I didn't tell any of these people it was a stream. I instead made all of their characters, and then I went live to just 1 or 2 friends. I streamed for 4 hours, finished the stream, and then watched the entire VOD back. And I manually clipped all of the moments that were important or could be a funny thing to write about. Once I was done, I wrote an entire post that was a story of everything that had happened in that session. And I shared it to the community without saying that I was streaming. And people loved it. So I repeated this a few more times. And on the 3rd or 4th time, I included links to Twitch clips from the stream. And from there, I suddenly had 5 new viewers come to my stream. They were welcomed in by the 2 friends that I mentioned earlier. From there, I had my momentum. I'd broken that first hurdle. So I kept that playthrough up for a bit, and I was able to build a really nice little community of about 10 people. But I couldn't play XCOM forever. So I decided I had to move to a new category. The first category I chose was Jackbox. It's a party game that needs 10 people. This meant I had enough people that could fill a game, but my stream was also still small enough that anyone who wanted to play Jackbox would come to me and not the big guys because it was easier to get into a game. They didn't have to fight for a spot. The next step was consistency, so I repeated this process over and over, naming characters after chatters, doing party games, and then I moved into other categories that are loved but not oversaturated. Categories where you're in the top few rows, like Darkest Dungeon, which is another game you can name characters after chatters. Another game I chose was Stardew Valley, which I had huge success with. Essentially, I chose games with huge communities that are still active, but most streamers have moved on. I want to be clear, the game choice is not what allowed me to grow. It was coming up with unique and creative ways to engage and find new viewers. Category growth isn't the best way to grow, but it's important to mention because that's how I started and how I reached 25 to 30 average in my first month or so, which was a massive snowball for many people. But again, it wasn't just category. It started with external, unique ways to provide value. The takeaway of the story isn't to go do the exact same thing, but instead to take inspiration. How can you provide unique value to people in communities that isn't just straight advertising or self-promotion? How can you then engage those people while you stream? And how can you make them community members? How can you do more than just go live and hope for the best? I hate the words "how can you," I've said them too many times. Okay, let's talk about more common ways to get eyes on your content. Specifically, the most common advice: start a YouTube channel. Look, it's fundamentally good advice, but it's also really disingenuous advice. And I want to be honest about the difficulties that come with this method, because a lot of you guys are trying this method without really being told the truth. The major difficulty being that it's really hard to grow a YouTube channel. You could spend weeks planning unique video ideas, making the thumbnails clickable, coming up with good titles, making the concept of the video something more than just gameplay. You could spend a whole month editing it and then release it to 0 viewers. And in truth, you could release hundreds of videos to 0 viewers before you even get a single audience member. But that's okay, because when you finally get an audience, they'll all go watch you on Twitch, right? No, because there is no way to know if people will actually want to click a link in your description and head over to Twitch, let alone if they even have Twitch accounts. So those things are difficult, but there are ways we can increase the likelihood of them clicking that link. For example, spending time researching, learning skills, learning how to edit, and really targeting a specific audience of people. Say like myself, who I don't make variety content anymore. Instead, I make mostly content that's targeting Nintendo and Pokemon. That way, every time I release a piece of content, I know that the audience will like it because I know they like Pokemon and Nintendo. And if I make dozens and dozens of videos and grow an audience, I can throw a few call to actions in these videos that show the value of going to my stream. For example, I can say something like, "This was recorded live on my Twitch channel. Want to get a Pokemon named after you? Then click the link in the description and check me out while I'm live." It's important to remember though that these call to actions only work if you've provided consistent value. Someone won't click over from watching one video, and it's important to remember that your videos aren't ads for Twitch. They are their own content and need to be valuable in their own way. If you just make it in hopes of growing a stream, you'll likely never grow a YouTube channel. And if you're nervous to start with full videos, I completely understand. It's incredibly daunting to make a full video. So instead, I would really recommend starting with YouTube Shorts. And if you're an absolute beginner, I would use tools like JoinCombo to quickly learn how to edit full shorts, add sound effects, music, subtitles, and more without needing editing software. You can either record little videos offline and upload them directly to Combo to edit, or it'll just take Twitch clips directly from Twitch and you can edit them there. This isn't sponsored, it's just the best tool for a beginner to learn how to edit and to create YouTube Shorts and TikToks. Nothing else is needed. Thanks to working with a few different streamers, I've actually managed to work out a pretty consistent method for getting traction on shorts. And I honestly believe anyone, including absolute beginners with no experience, can start getting around 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, or even 100,000 views on shorts a day. That video is coming soon on how I got millions of views on shorts in a month, so subscribe if you want to see that. I apologize, it's just a really big video that needs to be very clear. That said, I have to be honest with you guys, sadly, while YouTube Shorts are much easier to start creating and have a much larger reach than most other platforms, they suffer from the same problem I mentioned earlier. Viewers are actually less likely to go to Twitch from a short because nobody clicks a short's description to find a link to go to another platform. But look, growing an audience on YouTube and then using those videos to promote your Twitch absolutely works. It's undeniable. But there is a better way these days. What if, and bear with me, it's pretty crazy, what if someone who watched your YouTube shorts or videos and subscribed would naturally get a notification every time you went live? What if they didn't need a Twitch account or ever to visit Twitch in the first place? Well, that's actually possible now by streaming on the same channel as you make videos and shorts. And if you really wanted to get 50 followers or build an audience fast, then YouTube Shorts and then streaming on YouTube will always be faster and better for discovery than Twitch. Look, it would be incredibly disingenuous of me to make this video about growing followers, to talk about external funnels like YouTube, and to not bring up the difficulty of convincing people to leave YouTube and go to Twitch. Instead, I wanted to give you the real solution of just streaming to that audience directly on YouTube. So keep it in mind and don't shut down the idea of trying out new platforms. In short, the actionable tip here is to start out by trying to learn more about short form content. Oh, and please don't use apps or plugins that just automatically convert the clips or recordings and then send them out. They're often really trash, and any tool that converts content to vertical format but doesn't let you then edit it or add graphics and subtitles isn't worth it. You won't grow from basic clip converting tools. Clips need to be edited. And if you need to use an app, that's why I recommend JoinCombo. It is a browser-based editor that lets you make your clips into good content rather than just a quick converter to help you be lazy. It can just be a clip converter, but it's not. It's an actual browser-based editing software aimed at vertical format. So those methods build your reach. You will have more people see you with your unique ideas like I did on Reddit and with shorts on YouTube, which means you might get more people dropping by your stream. But when someone joins your stream, they won't follow immediately, and you don't actually want them to follow you immediately because they aren't actually engaged with your content at that point. So instead, you want people to follow you, as I said at the start, with the right intent. For example, a massive mistake I made here on Stream Scheme was to tell you guys about my Twitch stream and then link it in the description. Yes, I built huge followers, but the majority of you weren't interested in my gaming content. So I had a large follower count, but only 150 to 200 average viewers. A better option is to make discoverable content that matches what your stream is going to be about as well. And once we have people visiting, what can we do to increase the odds of them following and coming back? Well, that's easy. You keep providing the content they followed for consistently. So not changing the game you're playing or not changing the style of content you create every week, and keeping a consistent schedule so they can always find you when they need to. But the most important part is to make good, engaging content, unique content that stands out and they enjoy, like giving them the option to be an XCOM 2 character or just telling really funny stories and making it a fun stream. I hate to say this, but you can't just sit there in the dark and play a game without talking anymore. You need to do something unique. You need to go further and go beyond. And at the end of the day, that is the actionable tip for this part of the video. Always be trying to find ways to make your content better than the others that are out there. You need to stand out. So increase your reach with good external content and then do something valuable to keep people watching. That is actually how you increase followers. And remember, if you're going to ask someone to follow or subscribe, you should make sure you provided value to someone first. So before I tell you my final tip and the most important tip of this entire video, I just want to say if this video has given you ideas, value, or help at all, then consider liking. And if you want to see more, subscribe. I hope it was valuable. Okay, so you've done all of these things. You made a really unique, interesting way to stand out. You've made a heap of YouTube shorts that aren't just clips converted. You've made YouTube videos. You stream on a consistent schedule. And you're streaming while doing the very best you can to be engaging. But you might not actually be getting followers yet. Does that mean you suck? Yeah, it does. Yeah, you probably suck. That isn't an insult though. I sucked and I still suck. And as gross as that sounds, guys, if this video can help you at all, I want you to know that gaining followers and viewers doesn't actually determine your success. Twitch gives you these little achievements to aim for, and it makes you feel like that's the goal, but it isn't. I hate these things. Success is determined by the things you control, like how much hard work you did, or how much you learned to try be a better creator. How much have you as a person improved? Heck, success is also just determined by whether you're proud enough to show what you've made to someone else. If you're not proud to share your content, well, then it means you need to strive to make something that you are proud of. So you might not be getting many followers or viewers right now, but as long as you are aware of what you need to do to improve and you keep working hard to make better content than the last piece of content you made, well, then you're succeeding. So keep it up. You got this. I believe in you despite the fact that you suck. Well, I believe in you if you put effort in. If you don't put effort in, then I don't believe in you. Is that harsh? I don't think that's harsh. That's fine. I'm leaving that in. Oh, and if you want to learn more about making short format content, well then click this video right here. You don't need to be an editor, you don't need to be an expert, but it will help you learn a lot about JoinCombo. It is specifically aimed at TikTok, but I also have a video coming soon about YouTube Shorts, and it'll still help with YouTube Shorts anyway. Not sponsored, I just love the platform because it's great for beginners. So there it is there, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.